Hey guys, so I just wanted to talk about God's goodness in this video and just kind of how things have been going for me. So as you know, I had my interview last Friday, and they called me today actually and asked me to come in for a second interview and a working interview, which is really exciting because I was not actually supposed to have heard back from them until at least Friday. So that means that they are really, really interested in me. And I'm super excited, just to be able to go in and hopefully get this job. I go in tomorrow, so that's a huge thing. And, just like seeing God's goodness to me this weekend as well, just being surrounded with friends and stuff at house group on Friday night and then church on Sunday. And, just everything that I get to do this week as well, with the Wednesday night meetings for the conference we just had 2 weeks ago, and then just house group and church, house group celebration. So I'm really excited that I get to spend time with the Lord this weekend, and I'm spending like my entire weekend in church, and that's like the best thing that I ever could do. And so I just wanted to remind you guys that God is good, even though you might be going through a hard time, because trust me, I've been through a lot of hard times in my life. But just things that have been happening recently, God showing me his goodness over and over again. Another really awesome thing that happened to me this week was I was able to get off of all of my medications that I've been on for depression, anxiety, and PTSD. I can officially stop taking them, and I just threw them away. I don't need medications anymore. I finally found my happiness in God, which is like the best thing ever. And so I just wanted to kind of update you guys a little bit. But, just remember that God is good, and He knows exactly what we need. Even, if we don't pray about it, or even if we do, He knows what we're going to say before we even say it. So God knows our needs. And, I've needed a job for 6 months now, and I didn't actually try and start getting one until here recently, because I finally felt like I had the courage, because of God's goodness, to go out and start finding a job again. And here I am, like, going in for my second interview tomorrow. That just shows me that God is looking out for me. He is good. And, He's going to do the things that He promises us He will. And I've just realized so much, on how good God is recently. Just with how life has been going. And, the thing is, God is so good in the bad times too, which is something I need to remember. And, like, I know a lot of us do. Like, I know some people say that, like, oh, I cling to God more when times are bad instead of, like, in the good times. But for me, I feel like that it's the exact opposite. I feel like that during the bad times is when I tend to stray from God, and I tend to just kind of give up. And then during the good times is when I'm, like, right there with God, and, I'm, like, always in church and praying and stuff, which, there's, like, two different kinds of people. I don't know if you're like me or if you're like some other people that, are the opposite, but for me, it's like, as soon as the hard times come, I just, like, give up. I just decide that, oh, God isn't good, He's not going to do what He says, I'm never going to get out of this, and blah, 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 and it just goes on. And then I start getting depressed again, and life just starts to suck. But, now I'm trying to, like, focus more on how good God is, because, like, for me, I'm like, God is good, He's helping me through all of this crap that I'm going through. And even, like, right now when things are amazing, things in life probably couldn't, I mean, they could be better, but I don't think they could right now, if that makes any sense. I'm totally full of joy and happiness because of God. I'm off medications. This is my own happiness. This is what I've been trying to find for years now. I don't struggle with anxiety anymore. I don't struggle with PTSD. Like, God took it all. He took away all the pain from, Yes, the memories are still there. Like everything that I've been through, the memory is still there, or else I wouldn't be able to share my story. But that doesn't mean that the pain is, because the pain is gone. God took the pain and cast it out. Everything I've been through, the memory might still be there, but the pain is gone. And so now I can talk about it and not feel sad. I can be happy because I've been through like the worst things that somebody could be through. And just like, I'm amazed at how God has brought me through it. God is awesome. And I really felt like I needed to share that today, in case you were kind of on the fence if God is good or not. And yeah, God is really good. Even if you don't feel it, He's good. And I'm amazed. Like I'm amazed just how life can change, in the span of a few months. And so I looked up some verses about, God being good and, what it says in the Bible. And it says, "You are good and what you do is good. Teach me your decrees," in Psalm 119:68. "Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good and His love endures forever," Psalm 107:1. "The Lord is good to all. He has compassion on all He has made," Psalm 145:9. And then obviously God is good because of the fact that He made us, and everything that He made was good, as it talks about in Genesis 1 and 2, I think. But it just goes on, like, "How abundant are the good things you have stored up for those who fear you, that you bestow in the sight of all on those who take refuge in you," Psalm 31:19. "For everything God created is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving," 1 Timothy 4:4. This just shows that God is so good. First of all, He created us, and that's a good thing, in itself. It's an amazing thing. We wouldn't be here if God hadn't created us, and I'm amazed, just how much we're loved, and how amazing this plan is that God has for our lives. Even though we go through times of heartache and times of struggle, because we all do. I mean, look at my life. I went through about almost 10 years of depression and anxiety and just bad things happening to me. And here I am, just turned 23 years old. I couldn't be happier. Like, Jesus is just like emanating from me. I'm trying to be this example to those who don't know Jesus, which would be my entire family, for example. And I have friends even that don't know Jesus, and so and then there's another one, which in Romans 8:28, this is a really well-known verse. "And we know that God works all things for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose," meaning we all have a purpose in life, and God's going to use us to work through that. God works through us, in the purpose that He gives us. And I'm just amazed, like, Jesus took my life when I thought that I was worth nothing, and He made me into something that I honestly couldn't imagine. And I'm so grateful to God that He changed my life when He did. Like, a lot of people, you'll hear these stories and you think they might be crazy, but I can tell you, at first I thought I was insane. I'm like, okay, what is going on? Because I was beginning to doubt that Jesus could ever use me like He was using some of these people in my church, always speaking prophetic words, or being an encouragement to people, or coming and praying with people. And like, I'm just like, Jesus could never use me like that. Like, I had been trying to do stuff, but like, I never thought He would use me like that. But He did. Like, He's starting to use me more and more, and I'm amazed. just pray that he's going to, use you for his purpose. Pray that he gives you those gifts, those spiritual gifts. And, like, I'm amazed. I did a video previously about spiritual gifts before I deleted them all. So I'll probably go back and make another one, because I know, like, some of the things that I believe about that have changed now. And so if I do make another one, I'll talk about it more. But I'm amazed at God's goodness to us and how much he loves us. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him. Psalm 34:8. And, like, I'm just so in love with God now, just reading these verses, just showing that God is good. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but it's always said in church. And it just shows you that, like, how amazing God is. Like, God is always good. Even when we think he's not good, he is good. We could be going through, like, the most, like, hard struggle of our life, or we could be going through, like, the best day of our life. It doesn't matter, because God is good all the time. And I just wanted to share this, just, updates in my life and verses that talk about how good God is. Because I never realized how good God was until here recently, when he just started to heal me, and he started to, put in the desires to get another job, and just, completely redo my life, recreate the person that I am. And I honestly think once I get, everything straightened out, and I finally figure out, what I'm going to do, with school and stuff, then I'm going to, I'm just going to completely start changing my life for the better. And I just know that, Jesus is good. That's all I know right now, but that's enough. I've got so many things I got to get figured out, but right now I just know that God is good, Jesus is good, the best things ever for me right now. And I wanted to share that today. For those of you that might be doubting that, just remember that God is always good. Alright, I will quit rambling on now, and I will talk to you guys another day. I'm sorry my voice is screwed up. That's what happens when you sing obnoxiously loud in church. But I'll see you guys next week. Or maybe this week, who knows. Bye, guys.